Hey guys, so just real quick before we get to the video, I just want to let you know this is a video I made some time ago, and I've just sit on it for whatever reason. I never did post it, and I debated on where to upload it or not because the whole Gillette commercial controversy seems like a decade ago, even though it wasn't really that long ago. There's just so much crap seems to happen these days, but I decided to go ahead and upload it anyway. But also, real quick before we start, I just want to thank all my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much, and we got 2 new patrons, Eric Moyer and Timbo Slice. Thanks so much for becoming a patron. I appreciate that so much. And if you want to become a patron and join the ranks, you can do so at patreon.com/TheRebelsAdvocate. Thanks guys, and here's the video. Hey guys, I'm Joe, and this is Rebels Advocate, and I apologize for doing this video on the road, but dang, it seems to be like the only time I get anymore. I want to talk about something I honestly didn't even want to talk about, but god dang. Let's talk about toxic masculinities, shall we? Now, what the heck is it? Boy, people are all up in arms and pissed off. That big commercial, Gillette commercial, come out, and you know, I don't know why Gillette put the commercial out. I don't probably know the truth. I mean, I hope that they wanted to inspire change, but probably they just hoping to get people talking about them and hoping it had the same effect as like Nike and their controversy, because we all know everybody's burning their Nikes, yet Nike sales went up. Maybe Gillette thought the same thing would happen. I don't know. We'll see. But for whatever reason they did it, boy, did it have a negative backlash. People just hating on that so bad. I mean, even you know, I even seen a clip today, Joe Rogan, who, you know, I like, but you know, I disagree with a lot of times, but I really like Joe. And even he's like just going off on it about how Gillette's just pretending like all men are, you know, bad, I guess. But I seen all this negativity towards it, and I go and watch it, kind of expecting it just something horrendous. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not real sure what everybody's getting so pissed off about. I mean, what I saw was a commercial that, yeah, it did point the finger at some men and say, hey, and even in the commercial they said, we believe we can be better, you know, and that we can hold other men accountable. And it goes through, and they're talking about the Me Too movement and bullying, and they're showing like kids being bullied, you know, sexual harassment or misogynism, whatever. And there's a scene where, you know, all the dads there's a bunch of dads standing at the grills, you know, typical dad grill, you know, I love to grill. And there's, you know, one boy beating up another boy, and they're all like, boys will be boys. And it's just like, hey, you know, and at the end of the commercial, you know, the one dad goes over there and is like, hey, this ain't how we act. And so I'm confused as to why everybody's blowing up. I think I understand a little bit the people who are thinking that this is pointing at all men, saying all men are bad. Maybe I understand that argument a little bit. I really didn't feel the commercial was that way, but I saw a lot of arguments that were just like, you know, screw this, men need to be men, and blah blah blah, and all. And I'm just like, what did the video for those people? And there were a ton of them. And for those people, I would like for you to point out to me what was in that video that you think crossed the line. Like what? I mean, do you think we should let boys be boys and just, you know, if your son's beating up on another boy, just sit back and watch it? Is that what you think? Is workplace, you know, sexual harassment or mansplaining a woman, or, you know, being a misogynist piece of crap. Is that okay? You know, all of those things. Like which part of that commercial did you have a problem with? You know, like I said, I can kind of understand if your only gripe is it paints a picture as if all men are bad. I kind of get it. But at the same time, a lot of us are. I mean, just being honest. And like Joe Rogan said this thing that I was like, come on, Joe, you're better than that. And he was like, what's the point of it? And he's like, do you think some misogynist, he even said rapist, you know, guy is going to watch this? Like seriously, a rapist is going to watch this and it's going to change his mind? Obviously not, Joe. Don't. Come on, you're better than that, man. But what it could do is maybe a guy like me, who is like, you know, I feel like I'm a pretty good dude now. I've definitely done things in the past I ain't proud of, but I try to be a better person every day. But I think it's a way for guys like me to look at and say, okay, is there some things that I could change, that I could be a little better at? Because, you know, I don't ever want to think I'm above change, that I've reached the pinnacle of where I need to be as a human being. I think we can all be better. I think there's ways in which I can be better. I think it's for those guys, and maybe guys who are kind of, maybe they see that video and they see things they're kind of doing just because that's the way their dad did it, and maybe, you know, those guys can see things. You know, I've seen a lot of guys have told this story about things that their dad said to them, and, you know, talking about like the two boys, you know, getting in a fight or whatever. And my dad never ever said this to me, and the only reason he didn't is because his dad said it to him, and he knew how much how damaging that was. And so what it would say is, you know, he would whip him. He's like, son, if you ever start a fight, I'll whip your ass when you get home. But if anybody ever hits you and you don't finish that fight, then you're going to get 2 ass whippings, because I'm going to whip your ass when you get home. I mean, and you could point out and just say, well, that was just your granddad being a little abusive to your dad, you know. But the thing is, I've heard that same story from so many guys like my dad's age and even guys my age. And that kind of shows you that's, to me, that is toxic masculinity. This boy's got to be tough. You know, if I had a son, and maybe one day I will, I don't know, but if I had a son and he going to school and somebody punched him and he hit him back and he fought back, then, you know, I'm not going to, first of all, I'm not going to, I don't think I would even ground him. I definitely ain't going to beat his ass, because, you know, I think there's better ways of discipline than that anyway. But I probably wouldn't punish him at all for defending himself, you know. And maybe some people would take argument with that. But if somebody punched him and he decided, you know what, I'm going to try to diffuse this situation in a different way, you know, instead of sinking to his level and resorting to violence to try to, you know, just overpower, if he decided he was going to diffuse it in a different way, and then he come home and I beat his ass on top of that, you're going to tell me that's not toxic? That's not, you know, that's ridiculous. But yet that's something that's kind of been taught to a lot of guys, like around where I live. That's fairly normal. I'll be right back. So yeah, I'm back. Where was I? But anyway, things like that I find that to be toxic masculinity. You know, freaking out. If you have a 2 or 3 year old boy and you freak out because he grabs some little girl's doll and plays with it for 5 seconds, you know, it's ridiculous. Or telling little boys, you know, to not cry because boys don't cry. You know, teachers don't, like, men don't show emotions. We gotta be tough. You know, it's almost like, even as you get older, you know, showing too much affection to, you know, your girlfriend or whatever, you know, it shows weakness, you know. Things like that, like, that are kind of taught and handed down. And the thing is, those things are breaking away. You know what I spent the day doing? As you can see, I look like crap. I'm wearing old tore up jeans, and old ratty t-shirt with a $5 jacket, freaking work boots with the steel toes showing in them. And I spent most of the day outside with my wife. Or not most of the day, but we spent an hour or so outside with my wife, out there shooting guns. I was teaching her to shoot. She shot her first gun yesterday. You can't, you know, not that I'm trying to be, but that seems fairly masculine. You know, it ain't like we're saying you gotta be some, I think a lot of guys think we're trying to turn you feminine, or, you know, turn you into a girl, turn me into a little girl. Oh man, I hope that was dead. There's a deer right in the middle of the road. I think it was dead. But almost looked like it was sitting up. Anyway, you know, you can be a manly man. Nobody's saying your little boys shouldn't play in the dirt and play with trucks and do all that stuff. We're not trying to, you know, I don't know what you think the agenda is. Basically, what we're saying is, and in the commercial, it's like, we believe men can be better. We believe, you know, what's their slogan or whatever that they've always had, that the best a man can get, or whatever. But like, we believe men can be better. And not that I even care about the whole Gillette commercial. This ain't I ain't trying to promote Gillette. I don't really care. It's just the argument in general. But we can be better. And I think, you know, obviously these assholes don't care, but for some of us guys, maybe you can look at it and you can see, well, you know, I'm pretty good, but maybe I could change a little bit right here, or, you know, I could do stuff a little different right here. Maybe I do this thing without really thinking that maybe it could be offensive to women, or maybe even to other guys. Maybe I'm doing something that's, you know, kind of dickish, you know. I think that's the main thing, and it goes even, you know, not just men. It goes for all of us. Try not to be a dick. I think everything kind of boils down to, don't be a dick. Is that so hard? Is it so hard to teach your son to, yeah, he can be an all boy and still treat people with respect, treat other little boys with respect, treat little girls with respect, and he can grow up and be a real man? Like, you know, it's not that difficult. I don't understand why this commercial is so controversial. I really don't get it. It's like somebody says, hey man, some of us are being assholes, like, maybe we could do a little better, and everybody's just like, oh my god. How dare you say that? We can't be better. We don't want to be better. We want to keep doing what we're doing. I just don't get it. But that's all from me for now. Thanks for watching. You guys can like, comment, subscribe. I'm sure the comments will be great. If this gets any views at all, I'm sure the comments will be great. I'll probably just stay away from the comments. I probably don't even want to read them. But anyway, y'all have a good